why Brian Morris couldn't become the champion until he embraced who he is either. If you're a snake, be a snake. Mike Z is a good guy and a great wrestler. Brian Morris, maybe not as great a guy. Also a great wrestler. These two are really finding the ideal and optimal versions of themselves, and they face each other in a match where I would say Mike Z on the surface has more to prove, going up against a former champion of 1CW. Wait a second. That t-shirt's now officially a Wonder Wipe. But Brian Morris, wow. A wild charge, and Mike Z doing to Brian Morris what almost everyone in this crowd wishes they could. You want to talk about a fantasy of projection. There's a lot of people in the back, a lot of people in the audience, a lot of people in the office that are putting themselves in the position of Mike Z in their mind right now because they want a little bit of satisfaction. Brian Morris may not be seeing the lights yet, but he is certainly seeing stars. Flopping down center of the ring, Mike Z has wrestled a near perfect match. One mistake by Brian Morris early on, a rage-fueled swing, and Mike Z has not aired since. These two know each other very well. They have trained out of the same facility. We have a strong, close relationship with our friends at the Monster Factory in New Jersey, where both these men came up, continue to improve their craft, so they know each other very well. And there is no love lost between them. Mike Z can't apply mercy as Brian Morris trying to sneak out underneath, begging off yet again, only lasts so long because Mike Z is onto him. And finally, Brian Morris gets an opportunity to take a breath and try and turn things around. It is the beginning of many a downfall of a former champion. You rise to the top, you lose. How do you deal? How do you deal with that disappointment? Are you able to stay at your best? Or does that loss come to define you? How do you know when your best days are over? You know, wait a second. And that's the importance of having someone to watch your back. Brian Morris coming from above. Watch your head, Mike Z. And that casket is out here menacingly. But if Mike Z's not careful, Brian Morris is going to look to put Mike Z's career in the casket. For Brian Morris, there's only two ways to go. Back to the top with a bullet or straight to the bottom. And Brian Morris only wants to go in one direction, forward. Largely because, as you can tell, he wants to get away from the people in Houston, Delaware as quickly as possible. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that Brian Morris has been very vociferous with his distaste for the Houston faithful. James Rudy making the count. Brian Morris taking advantage of 4 out of the 5 offered to him. Quick cover after the knee drop. Brian Morris is so technically sound. It's the details that matter, and Brian Morris has the details down. It's the little things, the positioning like that. Look at the way he landed that left foot right before the snap of the suplex to get a little bit of extra power, a little bit of extra leverage. And if Brian Morris has a weak spot, it's the fact that as much as he doesn't want to care about what other people think about him, it's very clear he does still care what other people think about him. If he was completely ruthless, if he was completely incapable of worrying about other people's thoughts and feelings, he might be unstoppable. But that is just a little bit of weakness, a little bit of rust on the armor, is that no matter what Brian Morris says, he is still rattled by the words of the crowd. And sometimes it fuels him, and sometimes it gets in his way. At his best, Brian Morris takes that anger out on his opponent, Mike Z, rolling up. Mike Z has been forever trying to hit that Mike Z guarantee, that move, that moment that will define his career, to launch him into the upper echelon of 1CWs. Tonight, the night, is he going to get that guarantee over a former holder of Big Blue? And these are those moments we talk about. Impeccable performance, that clothesline perfectly placed on Mike Z, but taking not even a victory lap, a derision lap, just making sure Brian Morris to look right straight in the eyes of our fans and let them know, yeah, I did it, I can do it. But sometimes you got to think about what feels good, and you got to think about what actually gets the job done. And what feels good doesn't always get the job done. Could this match be over if Brian Morris was really, truly able to focus on nothing but the task at hand? Mike Z knows what's at stake, knows that this is an opportunity to move up the card. Hit from behind. Brian Morris grabs the arm. Perfect positioning by Brian Morris, not allowing Mike Z to get that bottom rope. And it hurts harder when you don't see it coming. It's true. A drop kick is going to be bad no matter what, but you have a moment, even just an instant, where you see it coming at your face. You can flinch, or you can brace, or you can get a hand up to try and block. When something comes at you at the back of your head, there is no defense, and it rocks you harder. That could be a real turning point right here. Lateral press, Brian Morris and Mike Z with some degree of authority, but clearly just that kick out is taking a lot out of the guarantee. Neck breaker, focus, and only one. Mike Z is making up some ground. Mike Z has proven that he can be a late game player. I don't know what is in his system. If this is adrenaline, if this is conditioning, if this is sheer spite, but Mike Z making the most of the moment and knocked Brian Morris dang near out his boots. Tuning up, ready to play some percussion. Mike Z crashing the cymbals on the chest of Brian Morris. Olympic slam. Instinctually, Brian Morris rolls closer to the ropes, but not close enough. Has to expend the energy with a kick out. Those are those details. That's what makes Brian Morris an upper echelon performer. That's what got him to the title until he lost it to Sean Carlson, his longtime rival, the thorn in his side. And again, Brian Morris knows almost instinctually to get there. It's Christian just deciding to take Brian Morris out of the field of battle. Not sure if this was discussed. Mike Z has no interest in winning by a countout, a forfeit, a disqualification, or anything other than a clear and decisive pinfall or submission. Mike Z making it very clear that there's an order of operations here. He's going to take out Brian Morris. Then he's going to take out Christian. Then he's going to go and probably get a very nice kneel from a fine dining establishment because he'll have earned it. And it's time. Is this the moment? Mike Z, guarantee. We're going to see it. We can experience it. No, we're not. Brian Morris had it scouted. To be fair, everyone has had it scouted. He calls the shot, and now Brian Morris takes the win. Mike Z is a great competitor, but maybe needs to stop telegraphing the Mike Z guarantee. Maybe change the order of operations to do the dance after you hit the move instead of before. I'm just saying, it's possible that maybe that's the turnaround.